Hello, I'm Vicki LaRoe with Create and Adorn. Thank you for selecting this video and joining me today. On this channel, we share how you can create modern on-trend jewelry looks for yourself at home. Each week, I upload a new video sharing contemporary jewelry designs that take minimal materials and minimal technique, but get maximum impact. So if that sounds like fun to you, I hope you'll consider subscribing. This week, I have kind of a on-season design. It is the holidays, though I've just moved from Arizona back to Washington State, and this is my first video filming in my new place here in Washington, and so I'm still kind of trying things out. That's why I didn't decorate it or anything until I'm figuring out just the perfect place to film. But I do want to share a holiday design, a couple different ones. I'm wearing some cute ones too with our little angel pendant and earrings. After 30 years in the jewelry making business, I've been through many holiday seasons and making many different, very cute, holiday themed designs. But I want to show you this beautiful garland bracelet that you saw in the thumbnail. But I also have it in other colors so that you can wear it year round. So it definitely doesn't have to be a holiday or Christmas theme thing. But this is our little garland bracelet. I'll take the magnet clasp away. So this is it in the red and green and the traditional holiday colors. But we can do this gorgeous design in tons of colors. This is in the silver. This has like a gunmetal and an amethyst color crystal. This is our silver sugar plum color with a little magnetic clasp. And then I also made one in this sparkling honey in the gold. And so it's has a gold metallic crystal and then like a topazy kind of luster crystal as well, which I think just makes this just a beautiful bracelet. I really have loved wearing them and making them. Now, normally on this channel, I don't go too much into the technique or the how-to. I share the design and new products and some different options to give you inspiration. But I am going to show a little bit of this technique. It needs, obviously, the chain and the crystal, but I'll show you. It's a Rolo chain. I use a textured Rolo. Here it is in gold and 5mm. And the crystal that we use needs to be around 3mm crystal. So, right, like this is the red. It's pretty dark. Maybe, but in a round shape. Let me see if I can. Shoot, the strand is going everywhere, so I can't really get it too up close. But rounds, not rondelles. The most common shape in a Chinese crystal, so I'm not talking about Swarovski, I'm talking about just the Chinese crystals you'd see on a strand. The most common shape is a rondelle. It looks like a little saucer, a little squatty shape. It's the easiest one for them to manufacture, and you can fit a lot on a strand. This bracelet uses a round crystal so that it sits nicely in the link and in a 3mm, so that also fits beautifully in that size chain. So let me show you a couple different things. I'm going to use a silver in the Rolo chain, and I'm going to use a background so you can see it. Now, anytime you do a weave, a woven type of, piece, it's better if you can pin it to a board, any kind of like cardboard or craft board or anything. I'm going to use this jewelry board, and I'm going to use this kind of navy bead mat on top so that I have a little bit darker color. Black doesn't show up very well on camera, so I'm using navy. But I'm using, they're called little U pins, or these little straight pins you can use. And I'm going to just pin it right in the board. And that way it's pinned, and that way I have access to the whole thing. And this is, depends on the length you need. The kits that we have in our crystal garland bracelet are You can make them anywhere between 7 and 8 inches. So the length of chain, this one's about 7 inches. And then the clasp, with the jump rings and at least the magnet clasp, we'll add about another inch, inch and a half. You can use any type of clasp on this you prefer. I just like the look of a magnet clasp with this design because it's already kind of round. The way it's woven around, it already looks kind of like a, whoopsie, almost like a coil or a round shape. So the magnetic clasp, I think, suits it well from a design standpoint. But if you don't like them because they tend to get stuck on things, and sometimes we lose them because they can come apart because of that, you could put a safety chain on them as well. Or again, you can use any type of clasp that you like with this. Now, we need a 3mm crystal, like I mentioned. And even though I've used 2 colors on all these samples, it could be just 1. That would be fine too. I just think it's kind of fun to do the 2 colors. What we are weaving with is called Supplemax by Beadalon. It's their illusion cord, so you can barely see it. And that's why I wanted to use the navy, because even on the gray, you can't really even see it. But on the navy, you can kind of see a little bit there. So some things, if you're not familiar with it, it's not fishing line. Never, never, ever use fishing line to string. Fishing line gets brittle and breaks, for sure. It's not dental floss, none of that. The other thing with fishing line is it's never truly transparent. It's always got a hint of green or yellow or something in it, right? So this is truly transparent, and it's also made by Beadalon for bead stringing. It comes in different thicknesses and strengths for depending on your project. So it's very inexpensive, but you really, really don't want to substitute anything, like I said, like fishing line or dental floss or anything like that. This is completely transparent. I'm using it in a 0.25 millimeter is the size, and I cut off about 1.5 yards. If it's a lot to work with at first when you're weaving, and so if that's awkward, you could cut a smaller piece and add it along the way. That is just fine. So I'm going to tip the camera down just to show you how to start this weave and how you keep going with it. I won't finish it here on camera. My members, though, if you're a paid member, you'll have the full tutorial in your video content. I'll leave links down below to our website. You could purchase the Rolo chain and the Supplemax by the yard and the Crystal Garland kits. I've available. They're $19.50. I'll leave a discount code below. There's all the spiel for you. Now let's get weaving. So what I'm going to do is tip the camera down so that you can see my hands, and we're going to go on a little bit of a ride, and I'm going to need to move this a little bit depending on, so you can see it, and at least you'll be able to get to kind of the idea of it. Now I can still see it a little bit. Okay, so like I said, I've got this pinned down. Now the other thing that we could do here to make this a little easier is to put the jump ring already on the end. See, these have a jump ring onto the clasp. So let me do that real quick. What's great about these links on this Rolo chain is that the links open. So if this was too long, you could easily just take it off. But I'm going to put an 8mm jump ring on the end. All right, I'm using 2 chain knots to close it. And then I will pin her back, but through the jump ring. And that way that's a little easier because I have access then to the chain and I don't have my pin going through the link. Okay, so I've got that pinned on, and then I'm going to take my Supplemax and string it all the way through the first link until it is centered. Sorry, pull on it, and okay, so it's about even. So with this first one, so that it's staying, here's our little white crystals. I'm gonna do a white and red, so still sticking with the the festive or holiday theme here. So I'm going to put one crystal on one side and this on the other side. It's nice to work with the Sublimex on a dark background so you can see it. You know, so even if you don't have a dark fabric, a paper or something would work as well. Once I have a bead on each end, then I'm going to cross these through that link. And I do cross these at the same time. In some weaves, we don't, but in this one, I think it's helpful. And that way, these end up at the same, just stuck in there together. Now, that's not how you do the whole thing. That's just how we get it started. Okay. Now, the next thing you want to do is go ahead and cross the Sublimex through the next link again without the beads. So I'm going to turn it and cross my Sublimex, and I cross both so I can see them, and I grab the tails and I'm going to pull it, and this is crossing through that second link without a bead on there. But what this does is now this string is attached, right? It's not bouncing everywhere on me, and those crystals aren't bouncing on me. That the string is kind of secured is maybe a good way to say it. So here's a red crystal, and I'll put a red on the other side. And I'm only going to do a few of these. This material is really nice. It's not super strong. It's not really meant to string with because there are other materials to string with. But it's really great for weaving, or we've done like illusion necklaces. They look like they're floating. That's been really pretty. So I've got both my crystals on there, and now I'm going to cross again my tails of Sublimex through that same link, through that second link. And we just want to watch this along the way, make sure it's not getting caught up anywhere. Nope, just like that. I put it in the wrong link. I put it in the third one. I put it in the second one. See, we show mistakes and all here. And clearly my no editing skills. Okay. Second link, not third link. Second link. Which can be tricky because the chain likes to move on itself. It likes to turn, I should say. Okay. Okay, our red one's in the second one. And then I'm going to take Sublimex and cross it in the next link. So I always do this cross in the next link right away, because if you're going to walk away from this for a while, you want to be able to come back to it and say, did I do that cross in there? So I always do it immediately so that I know that I've got her down. And because it likes to move around a bit, just might have to keep adjusting it as we go. So I'll do another one, but essentially I'm crossing the Sublimex through the link, putting the beads on, and crossing them again. So the Sublimex is crossing through each link twice, right? So it's crossing the first time to kind of attach itself, or another way to look at that, or it's kind of attaching the last crystals you put on. But that way the Sublimex is attached to the link, and then when you cross it the second time is when you're kind of stabilizing the beads in there. And crossing that again. So if you have, you know, a Rolo chain, and again, round crystals are better. It's important that they're 3 millimeter, or it's important, I guess, that it matches up with your Rolo. I just think this is a nice size. Rondelle shape will work. It won't sit as nicely, but it's really the size, I think, that's almost more important than the shape. Okay. All right, so before I tip your camera back up, I'm going to put these tails through the next link. So it's all set up and ready to go. And like I said, when we do this, it secures the crystals in the last link at the same time. And you don't have to worry about, like, am I pulling this inside this loop over here, or outside the loop, on the left, on the right. That, it literally does not matter. Which is really nice. So it becomes a really very easy link to do. Right, and there's one of the blue ones. It's an old one. So you can kind of see now how this is all kind of woven in there. I'm going to tip you back up to me. This is a very high-tech program. Okay. Hello. Awesome. So that is how you start it, and you would keep going. It takes 100 crystals total, depending on the length, of course, but approximately 100 crystals, 50 of each color if you're doing 2 colors. And like I said, I used about 7 inches of the Rolo chain. If you're going to use a different clasp, like a larger clasp, then you could use a little bit less. What's great about that chain, again, is that the link's open. So it's very easy. If you're getting a foot of chain, it's very easy for you to just, you know, take off some. And if you needed more, you can add more to it. If you need to take some off, you can take them off. It's a great chain to use. I love it. So I do have the kits for the Crystal Garland bracelet. I will leave the link below if you're interested in either of these colors, in the Golden Honey or the Silver Sugar Plum. It's $19.50. You can use Beat Babe 10 for a 10% discount. Anyone can use that discount. You don't have to be a member. Members do get 20% off. I can leave a link to the membership. I try to mention it in videos, but not, you know, go on about it. You can find out about it if you like. All kits come with all the materials you see here, and it comes with what we call a style sheet, which has step-by-step full color photos for every single step, as well as members. I have a video content library that has the full video tutorial for each kit that we do. So there's all the rambling. I do have these little angel wings still. I didn't do a lot of holiday, you know, stuff this year because I was moving, but I do really love this little earring. We have this little earring kit, Wings of the Angel. It's very inexpensive. It's $13, $14 with the little pearl and the moonstone. And here's just the little angel wings on their own. That I did that little pendant, or you can do whatever. It's very, very easy to work with. Okay, I think that's about it. Thanks so much for joining me this week. I'll be back next week with new designs. I almost have those done, so I'm very excited to share those with you. Have a wonderful holiday season, and until I see you again, go out and sparkle brightly like the star that you are. Mwah. Peace.